to manifest anything. Only when you empty your mind, when you relax your mind, you can able to see the universe which is inside you. And there, all your answers, all your questions, everything will be given because you relaxed your mind, you emptied your mind, or you calmed your mind. The answers you seek never come when the mind is busy, friends. It only comes when the mind is at still. So let us all make our minds still. Let us not fight with the thoughts. Each time you have a thought, the thought should be a reminder for you to bring back your attention and awareness to your breath. Normal breath, natural breath, friends. Spend as much as possible, spend time with your breath. Last 2 minutes, friends. Bring back your awareness to your physical body. Let us express our gratitude to each and every person that we have met in our life. To each and every situation that we have met. Let us be compassionate towards all the animal friends, bird friends, fish friends, like the way universe is taking care of us. It is our responsibility to take care of our animal friends, bird friends, and fish friends. As 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Now slowly place your both hands over your eyes for a few seconds. And whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes and take off your hands. Come back, friends. I hope you all had a peaceful meditation. If you have any experiences to share, please go ahead and unmute yourself. Or if you are still in that state, please continue being in that state. Okay, friends. So I'll go to the next part of book reading. Today we will be on the seventh chapter. When Catherine arrived for her next appointment 1 week later, I was ready to play the tape of the last week's incredible dialogue. After all, she was providing me with celestial poetry in addition to past life recall. I told her that she had related information from after death experiences, even though she had no memory at all of the in between or spiritual state. She was reluctant to listen. Overwhelmingly improved and happier, she had no need to listen to this material. Besides, it was all somewhat airy. I prevailed upon her to listen. It was wonderful, beautiful, uplifting, and it came through her. I wanted to share it with her. She listened to her soft whisper on the tape for only a few minutes, and then she made me turn it off. She said that it was just too weird and made her uncomfortable. Silently, I remembered. This is for you, not for her. I wondered how long these sessions would continue because she was improving every week. Now only a few ripples remained in her once turbulent pond. She was still afraid of enclosed places, and the relationship with Stuart was still literally touch and go. Otherwise, her progress was remarkable. We had not had a traditional psychotherapy session for months. None was necessary. We would chat for a few minutes to catch up on the events of the week, then move quickly to the hypnotic regression. Whether due to the actual memories of our major traumas or daily mini traumas or to the process of reliving the experiences, Catherine was virtually cured. Her phobias and panic attacks had just about disappeared. She had no fear of death or dying. She was no longer afraid of losing control. Psychiatrists are now using high dosages of tranquilizers and antidepressant medicines to treat people with Catherine's symptoms. In addition to the medicines, the patients are also often in intensive psychotherapy or attending phobia group therapy sessions. Many psychiatrists believe that symptoms such as Catherine's have a biological basis, that there are deficiencies in one or several brain chemicals. As I hypnotized Catherine to a deep trance state, I thought about how remarkable and wonderful it was that in a period of weeks, without the use of medicines, traditional therapy, or group therapy, she was nearly cured. This was not just the suppression of symptoms, nor the gritting of teeth and living through it, a life racked by fears. This was a cure, the absence of symptoms, and she was radiant, serene, and happy beyond my wildest hopes. Her voice was a soft whisper again. I'm in a building, something with a domed ceiling. The ceiling is blue and gold. There are other people with me. They are dressed in old, some type of robe, very old and dirty. I don't know how we got there. There are many figures in the room. There are also some pieces standing on some stone structure. There is a large cold figure at one end of the room. He appears. He is very large with wings. He is very evil. It's very hot in the room, very hot. It's hot because there are no openings into the room. We have to stay away from the village. There is something wrong with us. Are you sick? Yes, we are all sick. I don't know what it is we have, but our skin dies. It becomes very black. I feel very cold. The air is very dry, very stale. We cannot return to the village. We must stay out. Some of the faces are deformed. This disease sounded terrible, like leprosy. If she had once had a glamorous lifetime, we had not yet stumbled across it. How long do you have to stay there? Forever, she answered gloomily. Until we die. There is no cure for this. Do you know the name of the illness? What is it called? No, the skin gets very dry and shrivels up. I have been there for years. There are others who have just arrived. There is no way back. We have been cast out to die. She suffered a wretched existence living in a cave. We must hunt for our food. I see some type of wild beast that we are hunting for with horns. He is brown with horns, big horns. Does anybody visit you? No, they cannot go near or they will suffer from the evil too. We have been cursed for some evil we have done, and this is our punishment. The sands of our theology were constantly shifting in the hourglass of our lives. Only after death, in the spiritual state, was there a welcome and resurrection, reassuring constancy. Do you know what year it is? We have lost track of time. We are sick. We just await our death. Is there no hope? I felt the infectious despair. There is no hope. We will all die. And there is much pain in my hands. My whole body is weak. I am old. It is difficult for me to move. What happens when you cannot move anymore? You are moved to another cave and you are left there to die. What do they do with the dead? They seal the entrance to the cave. Do they ever seal a cave before the person is dead? I was searching for a clue to her fear of enclosed places. I do not know. I have never been there. I'm in the room with other people. It's very hot. I'm against the wall, just lying there. What is the room for? It is for the worship. Many gods. It's very hot. I advanced her in time. I see something white. I see something white. Some type of canopy. They are moving somebody. Is it you? I don't know. I will welcome death. My body is in so much pain. Catherine's lips were drawn thin in pain, and she was panting because of the heat in the cave. I took her to the day of her death. She was still panting. Is it hard to breathe? I asked. Yes, so hot in here. Feels so hot, very dark. I can't see and I can't move. She was dying, paralyzed and alone, in the hot, dark cave. The mouth of the cave was already sealed shut. She was frightened and miserable. Her breathing grew more rapid and irregular, and she mercifully died, ending this anguished life. I feel very light, like I'm floating. It's very bright here. It's wonderful. Are you in pain? No, she paused, and I waited the masters. Instead, she was whisked away. I'm falling very fast. I'm going back to a body. She seemed as surprised as I was. I see buildings, buildings with round columns. There are many buildings. We are outside. There are trees, olive trees around. It's very beautiful. We are watching something. People have on very funny masks. These cover their faces. It is some festivities. They are dressed in long robes and they have masks that cover their faces. They pretend to be what they are not. They are on a platform above where we sit. Are you watching a play? Yes. What do you look like? Look at yourself. I have a brown hair. My hair is in a braid. She paused. A description of herself and the presence of olive trees reminded me of Catherine's Greek like lifetime 1500 years before Christ, when I was her teacher, Diogenes. I decided to investigate. Do you know the date? No. Are there people with you that you know? Yes, my husband is sitting next to me. I do not know him in her present lifetime. Do you have children? I am with child now. Her choice of words was interesting, somehow ancient and not at all like Catherine's conscious style. Is your father there? I do not see him. You are there somewhere, but not with me. So I was right. We were back 35 centuries. What do I do there? You are just watching, but you teach. You teach. We have learned from you. Squares and circles, funny things. Diogenes, you are there. What else do you know of me? You are old. Somehow we are related. You are my mother's brother. Do you know others of my family? I know your wife and your children. You have sons. Two of them are older than I. My mother has died. She died very young. Has your father raised you? Yes, but I'm married now. You're expecting a baby? Yes, I am afraid I do not want to die while the baby is born. Did that happen to your mother? Yes, and you're afraid it will happen to you also? It happens many times. Is this your first child? Yes, I'm frightened. I expect it soon. I am very big. It is very uncomfortable for me to move. It is cold. She had moved herself ahead in time. The baby was about to be born. Catherine had never had a baby, and I had not delivered any in the 14 years since my obstetrics rotation in medical school. Where are you? I inquired. I am lying on something stone. It's very cold. I'm having pain. Somebody must help me. Somebody must help me. I told her to breathe deeply. The baby would be born without pain. She was panting and groaning at the same time. Her labors lasted several more agonizing minutes, and then her child was born. She had a daughter. Do you feel better now? Very weak. So much blood. Do you know what you will name her? No, I am too tired. I want my baby. Your baby is here. I ad-libbed. A little girl. Yes, my husband is pleased. She was exhausted. I instructed her to take a short nap and to awaken refreshed. After a minute or two, I awakened her from the nap. Do you feel better now? Yes, I see animals. They are carrying something on their backs. They have baskets on them. There are many things in the baskets food, some red fruits. Is it a pretty land? Yes, with much food. Do you know the name of the land? What do you call it when a stranger asks you the name of the village? Catania. Catania. It sounds like a Greek town, I prompted. I don't know that. Do you know? Do you know that? You have been away from the village and returned. I have not. This was a twist. Since in that lifetime I was her uncle, older and wiser, she was asking me if I knew the answer to my own question. Unfortunately, I did not have any access to that information. Have you lived all your life in the village? I asked. Yes, she whispered. But you travel so you can know what you teach. You travel to learn the land, the different trade routes so you can put them down and make maps. You are old. You go with the younger people because you understand the charts. You are very wise. Which charts do you mean? Charts of the stars? You understand the symbols. You can help them to make maps. You recognize other people from the village? I do not know them, but I know you. All right. How is our relationship? Very good. You are very kind. I like to just sit next to you. It's very comforting. You have helped us. You have helped my sisters. There comes a time, though, when I must leave you, for I am old. No, she was not ready to deal with my death. I see some bread, flat bread, very flat and thin. Are you people eating the bread? Yes, my father and my husband and I, and other people in the village. What is the occasion? It is some festival. Is your father there? Yes. Is your baby there? Yes. But she's not with me. She's with my sister. Look closely at your sister, I suggested, looking for that recognition of a significant person in Catherine's current life. Yes, I do not know her. Do you recognize your father? Yes, yes, Edward. There are figs and olives and red fruit. There is flat bread, and they have killed some sheep. They are roasting the sheep. There was a long pause. I see something white. She had again progressed herself in time. It's a white, it's a square box. It's where they put people when they die. Did someone die then? Yes, my father. I don't like to look at him. I don't want to see him. You have to look? Yes, they will take him away to bury him. I feel very sad. Yes, I know. How many children do you have? The reporter in me was not letting her grieve. I have three, two boys and a girl. After dutifully answering my question, she returned to her grief. They have put his body under something, under some cover. She seemed very sad. Have I died by this time too? No. You're drinking some grapes in a cup. What do I look like now? You're very, very old. Are you feeling better yet? No. When you die, I will be alone. Have you outlived your children? They will take care of you. But you know so much. She sounded like a little girl. You will get by. You will know a lot too. You will be safe, I reassured her. And she appeared to be resting peacefully. Are you more peaceful? Where are you now? I don't know. She had apparently crossed over into a spiritual state, even though she had not experienced her death in that lifetime. This week, we had gone through two lifetimes in a considerable detail. I awaited the masters, but Catherine continued to rest. After several more minutes of waiting, I asked if she could talk to the master spirits. I have not reached that plane, she explained. I cannot speak until I do. She never did reach that plane. After much waiting, I brought her out of the trance. So that's all for today, friends. If anyone has to share anything, please go ahead and share. Or if you have any questions.
Hello, Madhu.
Hi, Lakshmi.
Hey, that Catherine was getting tired. Is it because of she had multiple regression? Because even in her past life, she was suffering, but she was never been so tired, right? Now, when she underwent the delivery pain, she was very very tired.
Yes, because she was living that experience.
Earlier also when she had a heart attack or when she had that leg wound and all, she
Mhm.
experienced all those things, but it was
Yep.
not that painful compared to now because
Yes.
doctor had to make her rest.
Yes. And also I think she had also fear about her mother, like that's what is blocking her to, to experience uh, what do you say, to be okay, because she already had seen her mother in pain that she left her body. So that's what made her scared and bit stressed at that time, feel
Okay.
tired. Yeah.
Mm,
The
okay.
labor pain. She was experiencing labor
Labor
pain and
pain.
the symptoms.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Ram wants to talk. Yes, please.
So I think it also depends on how Catherine had experienced those experiences in those lifetimes, and those are those are certain emotions that she could not learn or move out of those, and somehow she had carried them still into the present life. And when experiencing those things, she's still undergoing the similar pain in a way to release those things. And that is how I think she feels tired, because those emotions are still carried forward into this lifetime. And when she is experiencing certain thing out of which she had moved from those experiences, which means she did not carry any fear or certain emotions, then she's not getting tired. So, in a way, to experience them in those regressed states is a way to undo, or let's say um, to get rid of those trapped emotions. So, it's a nice thing, I believe, because it's a wake up call for all of us that if anything that stops us from experiencing um, our true self, it could be attachment, or it could be fear, or it could be whatever. And if we do not move out of this in this lifetime, we end up carrying those emotions into next lifetime, where we may plan ourselves to learn to move out of those emotions or experience. Sometimes it can happen from our spiritual learnings and we get wise and move out. And sometimes it is like in the case of Catherine, you re-experience them and you understand and you move out. So that's what I feel.
Thanks, Ram. Wonderfully explained.
Thanks, Ram. Yeah. Any other questions, friends? Okay. All right, friends. So we'll all see each other again tomorrow morning for the meditation at 6 a.m. Germany time or 10:30 a.m. India time. And tomorrow evening we will be having Master Sharu's session. She will be, yes, Ram, you want to say something?
Well, this is the second time I hear this book. So I'm sure some of our friends here are listening for the first time. It always is a nice thing to rehear certain stories and the messages behind. And this was one of the books where I realized, and somehow when I finished this book, um I kind of got rid of fear of death. And I kind of realized, and from then, um, when I see people pass over, I do not uh, feel bad, because kind of understanding had come within my being. And another thing is, when I see people in their last moments of life, I kind of guide them, speak to them about life after death, what happens from all these stories I have heard. So it's nice to rehear these lessons. Let's say in a way, all through Catherine and Dr. Brian Weiss. So anyone had within their being experienced certain things, or you know you kind of start to think in a different way, not consciously, it happens deep within you. Did anyone notice certain changes? Please share, just curious to hear.
Hi, Ram. Yeah, I could
Hi.
probably, not with this book, but after a session with a professor by named Atluri Ashok, who is a parapsychologist and a dean in Andhra University. He had given me a session of 1.5 hour after my brother passed away. So then he made me realize this, whatever is going on in the book or some parts of the book. So from then on, I think I started, or I could see a different change in myself. I stopped crying from my brother who would not return, and I started wishing him so wherever he is, he will be in a good state. So I think this comes back when you ask this question. And this is nothing but, yeah, it's just like one piece of, again, a piece of cloth.
Wonderful, wonderful, Usha.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes, Ram. With the experience I got is like after reading this book, it's not the experience. What I understood, like once my aunt and the granny passed away, they had come in my dream, but I could never see their face. I could never see their complete body. But I know that it's my granny. But I could see only the light and the like a kind of a shining. You feel good, but I cannot see the body at all. But after reading this book, I really understood it's really the soul which has come to my dream, because they look so beautiful, but you cannot see the body, you cannot see their face, but you feel it's only them. So when every time when Catherine was passing from one life to another life, like in her journey, the explanation that was given, like she used to see a very bright light, and she used to feel very graceful and peaceful and happy in that state. And with my experience, what my granny I saw, she was always happy after her death. She never complained of anything or any pain. So this is what I understood after reading this book. It's like they are happy soul.
Wonderful, wonderful, Lakshmi. Thank you for sharing.
Yes. And what you explained also, like after reading this book, I think this book has to be read after. This is my first time I'm listening to this book, but maybe as the time passes on, I have to revisit and read this book. There are many things to understand, but now I do not feel sad for their death, because and when I see the old people also, I'm not having that emotion or that kind of attachment towards them, because they have to pass on. I'm not feeling sad. So this is my state of mind as of now after reading this book.
You said when you see old people passing over.
Yes.
Okay.
Like when I hear someone, before that I used to cry, but after reading this book for 6 days so far, I feel like, yes, it's their life is completed. They have to go ahead, and there is something else waiting for them. So it's not a death for me anymore. It's like they are going in their lifetime. I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain, but I'm not feeling that sad when I hear somebody die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah. We just need to let them move on.
Yes. Yes.
And
Correct.
yeah, irrespective of age. I mean, I had a similar understanding. Even if someone of 1 year old or 1 day old pass over, it's just the same thing.
Yes. And yes, that the if we get that understanding, then we can get rid of all these emotions easily.
Yeah. It's a rather than saying understanding, I would say it's a liberation. It's a freedom.
Hmm.
Freedom to us,
Hmm.
because all these things block in a way our own um, truth, because we also live the same cycles. But when we reject others' cycle, we somehow within ourselves are not resonating to our inner truth. So the moment we understand and allow the other's cycle, even from deep within us, there is a greater alignment that happens. So
Ram, I just want to mention one thing. I remember, like in this book, Catherine, after her sessions when she gets better, I think eventually she goes and helps people who are very sick and in the terminal stages, isn't it? Like you mentioned.
Yes, there was a part where I think yesterday or day before yesterday's story where I think you are referring to this part where there was a message saying people who are in deep coma, they have the choice to go or to come back, and the soul decides. Is this the part you are referring to, Balagaru?
No.
No. What I'm saying is, like you mentioned, to get the awareness, people in this country, in general, other than other cultures who don't understand the reincarnation, they get scared of death. And
Yeah.
so to those people, I think Catherine goes and after she gets better and she understands all this, she goes and I remember she goes and helps in the hospital, sitting,
Yes.
next to them and explaining about all this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that is how when we become realized or when we understand something, we have to share it because
Yeah.
there was another point that we as souls sometimes we should not always search and thrive or reach out to the people of the same energy or a higher energy, but we have to also mingle and work with, let's say, put like that, with the souls of lower energy. Nothing but sharing, like Catherine going to hospital and sharing her, let's say, understandings.
Yeah, that's true. Only the thing is, people when they are very young and suddenly when they pass away because of an accident and all, how like whatever knowledge we have and they have, I think it's for them still it takes a while to get back.
These are all
For
learnings that we all as a soul level go 400, 500, 900 lifetimes.
yes,
So as we move on, we do understand that even those young people who pass over, there is a greater purpose behind it. Like the son of Dr. Brian Weiss, when she says that he passed over to uh, supporting
believe that.
karmic cleansing of Dr. Brian Weiss.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are bigger, let's say, how do we say, unless we don't understand a holistic picture.
Yeah, that's true. Then we get attached.
Then exactly, if we are not looking at that way, we get attached. And yes, there is no hurry,
Yeah.
like in this book we go through 63 or some other lifetimes, so we keep refining ourselves. Only thing is, whenever we hear these stories and whenever we discuss these things like this, somewhere within us there is a door that is unconsciously opening,
That's true.
so
People who are realized souls, they, on this earth, they don't grieve even for their own or people or whoever near or dear, when they pass away.
yeah, we don't need to actually grieve, because grieving again holds back the soul that moves on.
Yeah. That's what I keep telling my mom,
Yeah.
I,
and
I
and
say,
and these things cannot come into experience unless we hear such stories, lot of such stories, and with time experience certain things, because this is our each one of our truth. You have lived many lifetimes similar to what Catherine had experienced, many lifetimes. I have lived many lifetimes. So the moment we deny other people passing over, we kind of stop our own cycle because we are not resonating to our inner truth.
yeah,
So, yeah, like a tree that grows Yeah, or when autumn comes, it is shedding of its leaves. The tree is not
Yes.
accepting the other tree whose leaves are falling down. It says why these leaves are falling down, right? But
Yeah.
it's against its own cycle that it is also experiencing. So there are a lot of wonderful things as we keep discussing things come up. Uh, it's beautiful sharings. Thank you.
Yeah. Especially when the masters speak, those are very, very interesting to
Yeah,
listen and then get into our mind, understand.
true.
There are a lot of wisdom.
Yeah, Archana ji,
Thanks,
you were. Thank you, Balagaru. Archana ji, you were asking what was the question. Well, uh, we were sharing what are our understandings, deeper connections after reading or hearing this book for 6 days. So if we realize or connect to certain lessons of this book, and somehow we noticed within our being certain changes.
Yeah, Ram, I got your question, and I was listening to everyone's response. For me, this is the second time I'm hearing it. The first time I I remember hearing it like a couple of months back, like audiobook. So, and this is the second time I'm hearing it from Madhu. Find it very interesting, but for some reason, in fact, for some reason, I'm not able to really, get deep into this, whatever they're sharing, because like there are some books which I feel really very much connected and get like so many ideas or like so many learning lessons from those books. But this book, in fact, the other day also I wanted to talk, but I guess it was too late. We were discussing on something on karmic. That day you were also there. So for some reason, with this book, I'm not able to grasp much. Probably I need to go again, or maybe sometime I need to read it physically, like that book, instead of listening. And perhaps then I can, get it is really good. It's interesting, but for some reason, I'm not able to grasp some, like, we get some learning lessons, right? That I'm not unable to get it from this book. But yeah, I'm trying my best. But as I said, there are some books which you get instantly connected, and some books you need time.
Yes, Archana ji.
In fact,
It's
the other day I really wanted to add this point also, like the other day, but then I didn't get the chance. That uh, you know, sometimes like not necessarily, but if like people who get really connected with book as a reader or as a listener, if they can share, probably that can help people like me to understand it easily. Like understand those key points. So yeah, I did get few key points now and then. But like for example, yes, you have read this chapter. I mean, this book couple of times, and like if you get some key points, perhaps if you can share after reading a particular chapter, or like maybe at the end of the chapter. So that would be really great and appreciated, because I've heard about this book a lot from many people, but for some reason I'm not able to get connected to it on a personal level.
yeah.
Thank you.
This is why we are basically using, let's say, we are discussing. So the sharings are part of refined understandings of each one of us. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yes. I sometimes search for, keynotes like in YouTube. There are few writers or readers who share keynotes about some particular book. So I was searching for this book as well. But then I took it as a signal, like probably I need to read it physically, like in a PDF or, in a book form.
that perhaps can help me even more. Because I've heard. I mean, I've shared few instances with Madhu even previously about my grandmother and my chacha and all those, passing away and having them in dreams, this and that. But again, like I really wanted to get deep into this book. So yeah, pretty much that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Archana.
Right. Thank you so much, all. And and we will all see each other tomorrow morning. And tomorrow evening, we have Master Charu's session. She will be explaining on the significance of why we have to celebrate Diwali, the real significance of celebrating Diwali. She will be talking at this time. And day after tomorrow morning, we have Akash from India. So he will also be speaking about the chakras. And on Sunday, there is one special session. Usually on Sundays, we will be having a regular session, but on this Sunday, coming Sunday, there is a friend of mine from Egypt. Her name is Dalia. She will be speaking about self-love, why, how, and when. So this will be really interesting. All the sessions are interesting. Please do join the sessions, and it will be updated in the group. And I wish you all a happy day, a happy night, and a happy evening. Namaste to all. See you all again tomorrow.
Thank you, Ram and Madhu. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Archana. Bye bye.